Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled Daf Yomi Ketuvoth ibid. The Gemara Mishna Ketuvoth talk about the tragic case of a woman taken captive. And unfortunately there's a fear that she was raped. And it's of course anusa, not intentional. But if it's an Eshet Kohen who's with another man, even if she's an anusa, it's a serious problem in terms of her marriage. With the keeping the marriage going with the husband, because the Kohen is usher with an anusa even, as opposed to a regular Israel. If his wife is an anusa, he is not prohibited to be with her, only when she's willingly mezana with another man. So the Gemara trying to discuss his different aspects when we consider the fact that once she was a captive, we do assume that she's an anusa, when we assume not, and who could testify that she was not, that nothing happened to her. What about witnesses that normally a sister, another woman, a katan, can these people be witnesses or not? And the Gemara says that yes, in many cases we do accept their testimony. Discussion in the post, what about a katan only from Mesich Fituma, that he isn't realizing that he's doing this to shame either for the sake of testimony, or even if he knows that they're relying on him to mati the marriage. One aspect of the sugya is a husband. If the husband says, no, I'm telling you, nothing happened to her, so there's a bit of an issue here. On the one hand, he's testifying, that should be good aid. On the other hand, Maieed Al Atzmo, a person cannot be an aid for himself, and here he's testifying for himself, for his own life, saying that no, my wife is fine. So the Gemara finishes the Daf with the quote of the Mishnah of Ein Adam Maieed Al Atzmo. A person cannot be to testify, cannot be an aid for himself, and that is the conclusion. And therefore, his aidus itself is not going to suffice. It mean other factors involved before we could go ahead and matir the wife who was taken in captivity by the Gentiles. We need some other kind of aidut. It's an interesting side point hashkafically about Ein Adam Maieed Al Atzmo. A person cannot testify for himself, and hashkafa standpoint that a person should realize in his avodas Hashem, when he's trying to decide what is wrong, what is right, what kind of outlets does he need, how much learning can he do, issues that he has, but under the Havero, the person should always keep in mind that Ein Adam Maieed Al Atzmo, he cannot really testify on himself, and there's an issue, controversial issues, and questionable issues, sensitive issues. The importance of a havruta, of a Rabbi, to discuss things about himself and his avodas Hashem and his midot is absolutely crucial. Because just like from a halachic standpoint, a person cannot testify about himself, things that are crucial to himself, so too in terms of hashkafa and his musar and his spiritual growth, I think it's quite appropriate to apply the line, Ein Adam Maieed Al Atzmo. A person cannot testify by himself. He should always have a chavruta and a rebbe to discuss his personal growth, because he's a little too biased. He or she is a little too biased regarding himself or herself. Shalom.